Hello, everyone. It's your friend Tristan Miller. I'm just here to inform you that I'm recording my first stand-up comedy album and special on May the 4th in New York City at Caveat at 4 p.m. You can go to the link in my bio on my social media platforms, or you can go to caveat.com, go to May the 4th, and buy tickets there. Highly recommend that you get them early as they are cheaper that way. Also, after the show, I'm going to go, Phantom Menace is playing in theaters. So I'm going to take a big group to go to the nearest AMC or whatever Cineplex and go see my favorite Star Wars movie. I'll say it with my full chest. My favorite Star Wars movie in theaters again. So hope to see you at both things. If you have to pick one, just pick my show, please. I would like to sell out the house if possible. Anyway, love you. Hope to see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. Coming soon to theaters, podcasts, film reviews, and so much more. Available at tristanmiller.substack.com.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Focus Testing, a podcast about movies where we make a movie. My name, as always, is Tristan Miller, and joining me today is...
Margaret Leisenheimer.
Leisenheimer, okay. Mm-hmm. So you'll notice that I'll gesture to the other person to introduce them. I also like people to introduce themselves, just because maybe they know something I don't. But you can always tell when I either don't know the person's last name or don't know how to say the person's last name. I'm like, why don't you just take this one off my hand? Yes.
No, Leisenheimer is, it's German. It means quiet home. Not accurate, but it is my namesake.
Very good.
And what's very fun about my last name, too, is that oftentimes people will pronounce it Leisenheimer, but they always get it in the second half, right? Like the EI being an I sound, but the beginning they don't. So, but it's the same pronunciation, Leisenheimer, throughout for the EI. But Leisenheimer, that's me. I also don't speak a word of German. Oh. Which is, I feel unfortunate and a missed opportunity on my part.
I should say so. As someone whose sibling is looking into German citizenship currently, it's a great way to get out of the country if you need to. So if you need to wrap this up.
You know what? Maybe I should hit up Duolingo right now. That owl is, calling my name. Literally, because it's mad at me that I haven't opened the app.
Duolingo owl, shut up.
Stop judging me.
Yeah, get real. You're not even good at teaching other languages. It's just building a vocabulary. They don't do any of the... I can't rant about Duolingo. So, Margaret, we met during improv class at Second City. It was a joy to work with you in the class. That's not the first time
and to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's not the first time you've done improv.
Correct.
How did you fall in? Because you're an actor as well. So how did you fall into doing it?
Yeah. So I went to LaGuardia Arts for high school. And we had a...
My perception of, it's changed of you a little bit. I think I already knew that. And had gladly forgotten it.
Oh, dang.
You and Timothy.
Me and Timothée Chalamet. There's so many stories that could be told in this moment. But I was there and they had an improv class. I think it was my junior year. Okay. So that was kind of my first introduction to it. And then we also went to see a show at UCB. They had a student show for high school students. And we went and I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. And at the time I was thinking in my head of what do I want to do? What's fun for me? What do I like? As I still do. Right.
And check in every once in a while. What do I enjoy about life, actually?
Yeah. What do I actually want? At 15, 16 years old, what is my why? And I wanted to do stuff over the summer, and I decided to go to UCB to do a week-long intensive.
Sure.
I was a mess. I had no idea what I was doing. I was 16. I was like trying, just like, you know, when you like, I was an A student, kind of a like type A person,
Yeah,
and you
that
go into
tracks.
these settings. Yeah. And especially at like 16, when you've put the process, I had a teacher once who said, you know, when you're 16 years old, you're building the walls in that moment that you try to break down when you're in your 20s and 30s and
Oh,
for
interesting.
the rest of your life. So when you're in an acting class that young, you're telling people to break down these walls and be silly and goofy that they literally just spent several years of high school building. So now you're going to tell me that that thing that I made as a coping mechanism now has to get dismantled? Excuse you. No. So that said, I just decided, I was like, well, I'm just not good at improv, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
Yeah. That was just, if things don't come to me naturally and I'm not immediately good at them, I decide pretty immediately that is just, obviously it's the art form and not me. And so I'm going to remove myself from it. You know, why try?
yeah, I mean, it's an awful big risk to
It sure
try
is.
because, you know, it could go one way or the other.
Right. This has gotten so deep so quickly.
Yeah, immediately. You're very open, which is like, I enjoy, but I'm okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, like, how do we...
Hey, listeners.
Yeah. I mean, I would say to that, it's like, I've often felt the same way in my life. And I have really, over the last few years, done a lot of work to go, well, it's fine to be fine at something. It's so okay to
Yeah.
be average or moderate at a skill. And specifically, if the skill doesn't really matter to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I work at a restaurant and I'm good at my job, but I don't give a shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just good enough where, like, there's no problems caused. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's where I want to be.
Yes.
I don't want to be, you know, going above and beyond because I don't give a shit. But I also don't want to be bad at my job where there's constantly someone's, like, riding my ass for no reason.
Yeah. No, well, also, it takes energy to be good at your job. And especially when you want to spend your energy on the art that you create and the things that you do, it's like, yeah, you know, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was a fine barista for a time.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually pretty good at it. And then I was like, I need to stop because this is consuming me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, so that was how I got into improv. I didn't like it. And then I went to college and did that whole shtick and was doing musical theater for a while. I still do musical theater and theater in general. And I actually just got cast in a production of POTUS, so shameless plug there.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, it's Citygate Productions. I'll send you the info. So in Queens, come out.
It's in Queens?
But yeah.
So that I live in Queens. I could actually show up to that.
Oh my gosh, please come. It's
I will.
it's
If
gonna be
I'm
so
around,
much
I will.
fun. Yeah, March. But if you're here. But yeah, so then I decided, I was like, actually, you know, I think of myself as a rather funny person.
It's true.
And and then I really enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy the joy that it brings to me, to be silly and goofy. And I was like, you know, I'm not 16 anymore. Maybe it's time to try taking classes again. And then I saw Second City and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get into it. And I started taking class and I love it. It's like so much fun. I look forward to it every week.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great way to stay in shape. Why did you choose Second City and not UCB, or was it just like not open when you? Or were you like, that class was so bad at UCB, I simply cannot return?
I can't show my face at UCB again. No, no, I do really like UCB a lot. And I would take class there. I think just because my experience when I was so young, I had like already created this like idea around it.
Sure.
And I said, well, maybe I'll try like a different method. And I remember like hearing that Second City approaches it more from a character-based art form. And I was like, that's kind of like what I do as an actor. So I think the tie-in of that is an easy way for me to approach it. So I was like, I've tried UCB, which was great and a lot of fun. I love you, UCB. But then I was like, you know, maybe I try a different method and I really like it. So that's just kind of what works for me. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember what's your first memory in the cinema?
I've thought about this question because I cheated and listened to your
It's,
podcast
you don't
before.
need it. It's not cheating. It's called research, and I wish,
It's
frankly,
called
more
homework,
people
yeah.
would
I
do that. Like, I mean, and like, here's the thing. I'm also, a pot calling a kettle black. In as much as like, I will do a podcast and be like, I haven't heard a single like I don't think
That's
I've
the
ever listened
improv
to
in
a
you.
podcast. Well,
That's your art, That's your thing.
Two things. One, that's very generous to me. Number two, that's very generous to improv by calling it art, which is
Yeah.
like, crazy nice of you to do. I know, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you my first memory of like what I really remember. So when I would be driving my mother up the wall of just having kids in the house and us running around, and it would usually be like my mom did taxes when we were growing up. So it was, there was the
For
busy
other
season.
people.
Yeah, for other people. Oh yeah, she doesn't do her own taxes for several months, which would be a lot. But
some people do. They have a mess.
some
of a
people
life.
do. That's a lot of papers to have. But so she did that while I was growing up. And so there would be moments where she's like, I have to work. And so my dad would be like, great, then I will take the kids and we will either go to the zoo or we will go to the movies. And so when we would go to the movies, I would get to pick the movie. We'd go once a month and I'd get to pick the movie. And that was his way of like just kind of getting us out of the house and also spending time together, which was great. And I famously, once I got to the age where he was like, you can pick the movie, I would pick heartbreakingly sad films.
Okay.
So it was Bridge to Terabithia was the first one we saw together.
Oh,
First
boy.
time. So my dad tears up, never seen him do that before. We're in Bridge to Terabithia. He's like, oh boy. And
Yeah.
we leave and he goes, you get one more shot, Margaret. You cannot. He goes, that was a lot. And this is supposed to be a fun afternoon that we had together. And now I had to sit through Bridge to Terabithia. And watch, was it Dakota Fanning, I believe?
Yeah.
He was like, she died. And that, spoiler alert to anyone who's not seen Bridge to Terabithia.
Or read the
it's been
book.
out for a while, or read the
Yeah.
book, or seen the original movie. Really,
Get
that's on
alive.
you at this point.
Yeah.
Come on. Hello? And then I was like, okay, I got this. The next movie I choose, I was like, well, my dad loves dogs, and I love dogs. We should go see this new Owen Wilson, Jennifer Aniston film, Marley and Me. And then
So what I'm hearing is it's really is quite remarkable that you did any research before coming on this podcast.
It is, yeah, because I famously do not. Do not. And to this day, the movies that I want to see, I'm like, this looks great. All of Us Strangers, let's go see it. Heart-wrenching, okay?
Yeah.
We Live in Time, also heart-wrenching.
Now, here's the thing about We Live in Time, is that marketing
Yes.
was bad.
Oh my God.
It was so bad.
That was misleading.
Yeah, it was-
misleading. Buried the lead on that one.
When they announced it, they said, I was told that it would be a rom-com. And like, it is a funny film, admittedly, but it is not
Yes.
what we would
No.
call.
No,
At
yeah, I
all.
did not leave that laughing.
No.
In fact, sobbing was more my reaction.
I saw that film in a theater when it was still doing like a selected release, and I thought like it was only playing at Lincoln Center, and so I was like, oh, it's gonna get kicked out soon. I better go see it. And I was like, oh no, I'm just early to this. But I rock up and I look around, and it's all these young women, and their just bedraggled partners.
Yes.
Sitting in and I was like, why are there so many? Oh, right. This is quote unquote a chick flick. I am so sorry. I forgot that not everyone is like, oh, these two actors I really like. Let me go see what they're up to. But walking out, to your point, the energy was so terrible. Like, the only other time I've ever walked out with that terrible, sad energy from the entire audience was when I saw at the premiere of Force Awakens, where like everyone was going in, they're like so excited, new Star Wars movie, and then everyone was walking out, Han Solo's fucking dead, and we're all like, And so that whiplash, and also just that energy of like, shit, he's just not coming back, is he? He's gone, sort of
He's
thing.
done,
Yeah, he's cooked. But this is all to say, how is
Yeah.
Marley and Me a film I refuse to watch?
Oh yeah, don't. And if you still haven't, don't do it to yourself.
No.
It was horrific and sad. And we left that, and he said, "I am picking the movies from now on." So from then on, it was Lord of the Rings and Marvel movies as I grew up, and and rightfully so. Those both were great, did not disappoint. But then I would be like, let's go see. And then he let me do one more. And I chose like the Anchorman, like the second Anchorman.
Sure.
And seeing that with your father sitting beside you was an interesting dynamic. Of just a lot of
That crass humor.
crass humor. And he would sit there and be like, my God, what is this now? Like, so I am just like, even a comedy, like we can't see films together. We decided, so we'll go fishing and do all that other stuff, but films we will not be seeing together. At least ones that I choose. So
That's so interesting because, like, to contrast that, I saw the first Anchorman with my dad, and he
yes.
lost his mind. He was enjoying it so much, and my mom was also there, and she was not having it. And
Yeah.
that's
it switched
fair
in
enough.
my house. Yeah, it switched. That's so funny.
What's your go-to cinema snack? Is it popcorn? Is it bottle
It is.
caps? It's popcorn.
I was trying to think of like a cool, like trying to come up with like
I mean,
a
they
fun
knocked it out
one,
of
but
the
it's
park.
not. It's not true. It is popcorn. I don't even put extra butter on it. I don't like the imitation butter.
It's gross.
It grosses me out. And so yeah, I do popcorn and I get a fountain Coke, and it has to be a fountain Coke. It cannot be can't be bottled, can't be canned. Got to be from that machine where I now have to stand there and like hit the touchpad so many times because it's lost its ability to work. But it does have to be that. And then also for whatever reason, those simultaneously, the ice machines sometimes don't work. So you have to go to like a separate one to get your ice. I have a lot of feelings about those machines, but I do have to have a Coke and a popcorn. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we knocked it out of the park when it was just like, I understand like the freestyle machine, the reason it's like an upgrade is because like it has all the syrups available to make all of those things.
Your dreams come true.
Yeah, whereas like it was like what, 10 options originally, but I feel like that was such a simpler but yeah, that's classic popcorn and Coke. That's great.
Yeah, and
Kind of Coke.
it's I love a good Coke. I love the drink, the beverage.
The Beveragino.
The Beveragino.
Have you ever worked at a place where you see all the syrups and it looks like the Matrix?
Wait, elaborate. What do you mean?
Like in the Matrix when he like wakes up and he's like pulling the shit out of his head that's like all like the like all the wires and stuff. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me every time I see.
I have never the only thing that I've worked at that had a lot of syrups that does not in any way have wires attached to the syrups is Starbucks.
Yeah.
So and those are just the regular old pump bottle. But yeah, no, I have never seen the inside of one of those machines. Have you? Is this
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're
I
telling
used to
me?
work at like an AMC. I worked at another theater as well.
But that's fun.
In Minnesota. I really like working at a movie theater.
I think it's fun.
It is. It's really fun. You get to see free movies. Also, like, there's a lot of downtime. So, like, I did a lot of reading and I got good at drawing. It was nice.
That's great.
Because I was one of the few adults that worked there. So they always had me work the morning shift. Because they're like, you're not in school. Come
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, it's like a series of hoses and a series of tubes, like the internet. It's a series of hoses going from bags of syrup that kind of look like a pumping heart, and it's they're pneumatic tubes. They're like air pressurized to get but so they're in the back room that have to go into the machine, which is why half the time the syrups don't work because it's such a pain in the ass to switch them out. Anyway,
That
I will
makes
send
so
you a
much
photo.
sense.
They're really
Yes, please
gross.
do. Yeah, I don't know if I
mess.
do want to see a photo. I feel like this is gonna like now break the allure of
magie.
these things, and I'm gonna be like, I thought it was just like a magic little gnome in there. Just
Yeah, it's a magic gnome that when you hit the button, it actually makes him get punched in the stomach and he vomits out the syrup.
oh, I just blew out my mic. Probably no. Oh no.
So
That's
sorry.
not what I wanted the gnome to do.
Yeah.
I wanted him to like make it like in a little cauldron in a tree.
Okay, so
And like pour it down the right chute when you push the button. That's what I wanted. Like
Fair
sap.
enough. Yeah, I like that idea. I would say so. In this, it's a hollow box, and inside there is a tree. So there's like a light source that makes the tree grow.
Yeah.
And a gnome lives inside. So it's like a box with a tree inside, and in the tree there is a gnome.
Like a greenhouse. It's a greenhouse.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
a greenhouse. Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready for some movie questions?
I'm so ready. Let's do it.
As always, first one, what is movie? Tell me. I don't know. Explain to me as if I was a child. What is movie?
Movie. It's a I would also argue that it is magical, and you do go into this place. Much like, is it Nicole Kidman?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a place where heartbreak feels good. You go in, you sit down, preferably in a reclining chair.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, has to be reclining. Are we? Anyways, so you sit in a reclining chair as God intended. And the lights dim. It's slightly cold, but like cold enough that you like take your like scarf that you wore there and you just kind of drape it over yourself, and you have your popcorn and your soda, and you sit, and this giant screen in front of you starts playing something that's going to transport you for about roughly like 90 minutes, 3 hours if it's deserved, like in Wicked.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the only one.
The
only one that should be 3 hours.
Step aside, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, sorry.
A masterpiece and a pinnacle of his achievement, not worth the 3 hours.
No.
That's so funny.
Gotta be just movie musical Wicked.
That's so funny. It's very good. What book should never be turned into a film? And you can't say the Bible, it's too easy.
What book should never be turned into a film?
So Wicked shouldn't be a movie is what I'm hearing. Because Wicked is a musical based off of a book. So that's what No, I'm just a little confused. So if a book should never be turned into a movie, Wicked shouldn't exist?
No, what are you talking about? What? No. Wicked, well, yes, it's a book, but Wicked should exist. No.
I'm just playing like a little trap on you. Like, I'm just like...
No, Tristan. You could never, with Wicked, could never trap me.
Okay, fair enough. A film I have yet to see. I hear it's good.
What book?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would argue Self-Compassion by Kristen Neff. It's a self-help book. Just don't think that should be turned into a movie.
That's a really good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's very funny.
Thanks.
How many slaps in the face would you take in order to be in an A24 film?
As many as is allowed.
It's
You
allowed?
could slap me. Yeah. You could slap me as,
Not is needed, is allowed.
Is allowed,
You're,
yeah.
like,
If that
eager
is,
for
I'm
it.
in. I'm in for it. Buckled in, ready to go. That's what I'm doing. I would love to be in an A24 film, and I would be slapped for as much as I needed to be slapped. I'm saying slapped a lot. I'm realizing. Go ahead, continue.
Who was your first character crush in a film?
I think, gosh, gotta be Hercules and Hercules.
Okay.
That one was good. Or Lola Bunny and Space Jam. Both
very
of
good.
those are kind of,
With
yeah.
Herc, when he's big or when he's little?
When he's little.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's got to be little. It's got to be little Herc. I can't,
Yeah,
you know?
he's like a little scrawny twink. Yeah.
Yeah. Into that.
Where he looks like most lesbians in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, for sure.
100%. That absolutely is very good. If you had to kill a Marvel character off forever, which one would it be? Who are you sick of? Is what I'm asking you.
Yeah. Who am I sick of? Is Black Widow already dead?
You are asking the wrong person.
I don't.
believe
Well, you
so.
asked me, but I don't really. I
Well,
don't
you just
even-
said you saw a bunch of them with your dad.
Well, because he made me, Tristan.
Okay. Well,
You
yeah.
think
he,
I was
he
like
did make
paying
you, he is your
attention?
dad.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Double entendre. Is the phrase. Yeah. I don't know. I think if Black Widow's still alive, she's gotta go.
And if she's dead, thank God.
Good. And if
Yeah.
she's dead, good. All right. So if anybody listening to this could just inform me of whether or not Black Widow is alive or dead, that'd
I
be great.
believe she's canonically bitten the dust. It's
Oh.
coming back to me because then they had that standalone, which takes place between movies before she dies. And everyone's like, this is confusing. And I'm like, yeah, and I don't like that I know that. I would much rather remember how to do like equations or my mom's birthday or whatever.
all of the information that I know about Marvel movies has been forced on me.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel the same way
You know?
about Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, every time someone's like, did you hear this news? I'm like, I didn't want to. I'm good.
I don't. Yeah. Why do I know? Why do I know so much?
What's a film that people don't remember but you'd like them to?
Don't remember, but I'd like them to. Cop and a Half, starring Burt Reynolds.
Go on.
Cop and a Half. Have you ever seen Cop and a Half?
I've never seen
See,
Cop and a Half.
exactly.
One of my
Okay,
best friends,
Burt
Tyler,
Reynolds.
that has. Go ahead.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Burt Reynolds, a disgruntled cop.
Believable.
Okay, I think, and I'm saying I remember, but I don't. My brother will know way more about this than I do because he watched this all the time, and I tagged along. He lost his partner. I think his partner died.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, but like cop partner, not like life partner. And so he died, and as a result, he is just kind of like doing his thing in the precinct. He needs a new partner. Okay. Simultaneously, this is happening. A child witnesses a murder by a famous mafia don. Okay. He sees it. He sees who did it. He knows where they are. He can identify them. Okay. He goes into the precinct, all this stuff. They're talking to him. They're like, okay, we're going to set up witness protection, all this other stuff. And the kid goes, hang on a second. You need me to solve this case? And they go, yes, we do. And they go, all right, then I have requests in order to do this. And they go, what? And he goes, I want to be a cop. I really have always wanted to be a cop. I want to be a cop. And they go, you're negotiating with us to tell us the information about the murder? And he's like, yeah, correct. And so they were like, all right, well, we do have a cop that needs a partner, Burt Reynolds. So Burt Reynolds and this kid joined together as police partners for the entirety of the movie. Hijinks ensue. The Burt Reynolds and him get into this like really like difficult argument. It's very sad, and then Burt Reynolds learns to like love again. It's just a whole thing.
That's very good.
Yeah.
The guy that plays the child is named Norman D. Golden II.
Yep. Yes.
And he is credited vis-a-vis Google as child actor, rapper. So
There you go.
Find him on SoundCloud, guys. He's from Racine, Wisconsin, which is crazy.
Yes.
Cop and a Half. I'm gonna put in streaming.
You gotta. Yeah, I had to rent it on Amazon recently.
You know that
I
is
watched
the
it like
first
last
one.
year.
That's so funny. Oh, also apparently it is available on YouTube. I think you have to rent it though. But
Yeah.
YouTube doing free with ads has been saving my ass lately. I love them for doing that. Tubi also rips. It's a great streaming service.
Excellent.
That's a great answer. It's not a film I've ever seen, and it's a film I forget about except for my friend Tyler will bring it up a lot in one of our podcasts. Anyway, final question.
Yeah.
As always, why is Austin Powers so sexy? What's it?
Oh
what
my
is it?
gosh. Wait, I do actually think Austin Powers is sexy.
Oh, okay. Speak on that, please.
I do actually. I just think he's very free with his sexuality. I think he owns it, and it's his confidence, you know. And he also fights crime.
I suppose.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've never thought of him as fighting crime, but yeah, that is what he does.
Well, what do you think he does with Goldfinger? Yeah.
Yeah, he's. Yeah, no, I have never considered Austin Power. I mean, he's an international man of mystery, to be sure.
Yeah.
But I guess they are mystery films.
Yeah.
That gives me ideas.
You know?
That's very good.
Yes.
You seem to have a predilection towards justice. Have you noticed this?
I guess I do. I did not realize this until we were discussing, and I had like thought of a few of these answers except for what is movie, obviously. But I guess I do. I don't know what it is. I think I really enjoy movies in which that is a big plot point. Like I think it's exciting to watch too. Also, it's like usually, at least in older movies, it's not so nuanced. So there is a good guy and a bad guy, and it just makes for like a simpler viewing experience as well, where you're just like, yeah, we are rooting against this person and for this person, and we are just in this together.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that it definitely is. It comes in waves as well, I feel like, because, like, obviously all the films from, like, the 1970s before Star Wars came out were all, like, vague, and then from 1977 through, like, 92, it was all black and white, good guy, bad guy, and then in the 90s it became all muddled again, and then now it's black and white again.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Because we're all like, we can't think about this right now.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, this is what it is. Just... sit down and watch it, you know?
Truly.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the word that we are going to build this movie off of?
I'm so excited.
Okay. Different. 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 All right. Here we go. Different. I feel like I have a notion where my mind is gone, but I always defer to the guest because it's good housekeeping. So if you have a notion or an idea has come to you, I want to hear it first. But
I have a dog.
Yeah,
she has a notion, obviously.
Yeah. Bork bork.
Honey, you're good. She's involved. Different. I don't know why this is just an image, but it's not a plot point.
Yeah, sure.
I would say that, oh my God. I would say that my notion would be.
Really good comedic timing from Honey over here.
She is so good at her job. She's so good at her job. She's like never barks. So this is honestly impressive. We're good? Yeah. Okay. I would say that what I am seeing is just like a field. We open on a field.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. It's evocative.
Yeah. Can I pause for 2 seconds and just get her to not bark?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so sorry. As we're doing this.
Amazing. There we go. Opening on a field is like evocative, and I like that a lot. For me, the first notion I had was an image as well, and it's of like someone in a lab splicing genes.
Like chromosomal.
Yeah.
Genes.
Yeah. Not like they're wearing.
Not like Levi's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe it could be. Go ahead.
I kind of have a moment where I'm like, what if we're like Area 51? So, you know,
Okay.
you like travel over a field, over a barbed wire fence. We're in this lab. There's multiple scientists at work over their microscopes, extracting DNA from what?
Mm.
You
We'll
know,
never know.
we'll never
No,
know.
we'll never know. I like that. I feel like for me, my only hesitation with that is I'll say
Okay,
this.
please, yes.
It's just two things, and I think this says more about me than it does anything else.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10s with these films, it's always some conspiracy that I'm improvising. I drift towards either horror films that have metal infused with the soul somehow, which I'm like, I need to work that out. Know what that is.
Metal. Wait. Elaborate on that. Metal infused with the soul, like a
like it's
gold, like a
like it's like
gold.
haunted somehow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was thinking elemental.
No, I mean like a sheet of metal that has a soul trapped inside it somehow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes way more sense than how I interpreted that.
Well, I'm glad we clarified. How did you
Thanks, me
interpret
too.
it?
I interpreted it as like someone had a soul, but it was like kind of like Superman, where he
Man of
he doesn't
Steel.
have kryptonite in him.
Oh, I see what you mean. No.
You know what I mean? Like some sort of element in the periodic table
Gotcha.
that I'm blanking on because
It's fine.
I act.
Iron, Fe, gold.
Yeah,
Whatever.
one of those. But it's like
That-
in you.
I mean, technically that's correct with iron. The iron in our blood is the iron that we
That's
mine
gonna
from-
break me, Tristan.
Okay.
That's
I'm
gonna
so
break
sorry.
me. It's okay.
There's also no such thing as a vegetable, but we'll move on. Same
We
with
can't.
fish.
No.
When you have fish and chips, it's 2 lies on a plate.
Fish aren't real.
Fish aren't real. Neither are I can't get into this.
What?
Scientific classifications are all bogus. But in whenever I'm making these things, it's either that, like it's either like some sort of horror film where like a mine is involved, or a conspiracy theory. And so that's my only hesitation with this thing.
Right.
But I think we can pivot from it. I think the lab is involved somehow. I feel like what if it's because my first idea with the lab as well is like that they're trying to make the genomes different. Like they're doing
Ooh.
experiments. That's where I came from there. So they're trying to alter something's DNA.
Okay.
And I think from there we can go a few different places. It doesn't need to be a conspiracy thing, but it can be like
I love that.
in Area 51 is like a backdrop, but not a feature, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, what if it's like, I don't know, the cafeteria of Area 51? I don't know.
I love that. The canteen. Yeah.
I don't know, right? So like they're these like genome splicing that they're doing to create something new is like how they're doing it. There's like the lab in I don't know if it's San Diego, I can't remember, but they're making meat, but ethically sourcing meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's they're trying to do that, but at Area 51
with like alien meat.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to introduce
I wonder what that tastes like.
only chicken.
It always tastes like chicken.
Everyone's like, it tastes like chicken. I'm like, well, here's the thing. Chicken doesn't taste like anything. Real quick, I don't want to get into this too much, but chicken.
We're gonna just keep veering. We're gonna
Truly.
keep veering off.
It means I'm comfortable with you. That's all it means.
Excellent.
Yeah. But like, chicken doesn't taste like anything. Chicken tastes like the spices you put on it, right?
Yeah.
Am I crazy? If you
No,
just
you're not crazy. And also, I think if you don't put spices on chicken, chicken winds up like I don't enjoy the taste of plain chicken, which again we're saying doesn't taste like anything, but I think it does have some type of taste, and it's not good. This is what I would argue. So
that's, I would agree. I think
like,
ugh, Can't get into this though.
It's a lot. But alien meat tastes like chicken, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
It is. I feel like, I feel like a workplace comedy set in the cafeteria of Area 51 would be good.
I think that's great.
You know, where it's like really mundane and like it's in the background of all of this crazy shit that's going on. Right?
Yeah, like there's just people are running around. I think at one point there's like a siren that goes off. You know? Mm-hmm. But they have to cook a certain amount of meals for the scientists there, so like we just can't afford to ask questions about this. It's just
yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's very good. I think that's also so indicative of like how government workers are treated.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's like there is some alarm going off, but it not my job, so that's not what I'm here to do. Yeah. I'm here to cook whatever this is.
I'm literally just here to make the fucking donuts.
That's my only job. That's my only job. Therese, your job is not to go looking at whatever's walking in that door, okay? Yeah. Nobody needs to know. We don't need to know. Bah. What we need to know is you blanching those carrots right now.
I like that a lot. My temptation would be as well to make it a mockumentary, or is that one step too far?
No, I kind of love it.
I like this idea of like they're doing a documentary to try and like expose what Area 51's about, and then they just get caught up with like these cafeteria workers. What's going on with them?
It turns into just the bear at Area 51.
Sure.
I need hands. That's too many hands. Yes, you have way too many hands, Sean.
There's way too many hands.
What planet are you from?
It's just because of the radiation poisoning.
It's like aliens actually also work in the cafeteria too. I think Area 51, instead of them studying these aliens, like I think they're a part of it.
Okay, I like
but
that. But
they're eating alien meat, but maybe it's like alien animal meat. I don't know.
We don't have to
even continue that.
Yeah, exactly. You know? We can
let that go.
That's chaff. That's all good.
That's done.
Yeah, I think I like the alien. It's drifting into Men in Black, but I like it.
It is a little bit, yeah.
But
Men in Black, blue collar
Men in Black. So Men in Blue. There we go. Done. I like that a lot. Done. So we could just set it like there's no reason we can't make a film that's based off of another IP. Because they tried to revamp Men in Black with Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth, and no one wanted it, which is a shame. Right. Because both of those people are very fun. So maybe we'll pitch this as like another like approach to it.
Yeah, I love it. I love that idea.
Because just taking the camera and looking over here. Like, Will Smith's over there. Don't worry about him. We're focusing on, like, the aliens making the cappuccinos and the cafeteria workers.
Yeah.
And the janitors. I think the janitors should be a big deal.
The janitors are, like, top tier of Area 51 workers, I think. The amount of things that they have to clean.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it is. How do you even know the right cleaning products to use? You know? Does bleach work on this? I don't know.
They're making new stuff. They're trying.
Works on 99% of germs. Yeah, the germs that we know.
You know, that's so true. Maybe COVID is from an asteroid. We don't know.
Ever think about that, RFK Jr.?
It's the aliens. I can't do it, RFK. Yeah, I can't even begin to go near that impression, I'm afraid.
Oh, God.
I think as well, another idea that I was thinking about is that maybe they're at a breaking point and they're trying to unionize.
Yeah.
Or there's a union strike that's about to happen or something, because I feel like there has to be some sort of conflict. I mean, like a mockumentary is good,
agree.
But I think there has to be a main source. And I think it's got to be like the aliens going, we also have rights. It's kind of fucked up that I feel like the scene is this. There's a human worker and an alien worker. And he's like, well, yeah, union dues are due, next week. And I'm stressed out about it. He's like, what's a union? And he's like, you guys aren't in the fucking union? It's like,
I love it.
and there's been this discriminatory thing. It's like, well, you're not citizens of the United States, so you legally can't work.
Right.
It's all been under the table.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Yeah. It's like this idea of the aliens coming together. I envision them having a meeting all together of one of them describing what a union is.
Mm-hmm.
Do all aliens speak the same language? Like, are we saying that they can all understand each other, like just blanketly?
If
they speak English?
In the world of Men in Black, I think they have a universal translator like in Star Trek. Where it's like something that goes in your ear and you just can like understand everybody.
You can understand it. Okay.
Don't worry.
That answered my question. Yeah. That makes much more sense.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're all chatting. What does that scene look like, I feel?
I think it's the alien break room. I think
Todd
runs in.
Segregated?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I think they go into the alien break room and they're like, hey guys, you know what I just found out? And everyone's like, obviously no, we don't. And then
you have to tell us.
You're asking. And he's like, I found out that the human workers have all of this protection and we as outer space workers don't. And they're like, that's not right. We should get those, you know? And then they're like, well, yeah, I want Christmas off. And then the alien workers are like, what is Christmas? You know? Like, do they say...
I think that's good. What is Christmas? And then the temptation to make it a Christmas movie is so high at this moment.
It's so high now.
Yeah,
and then
you're like, they have to learn the meaning of Christmas. And it's togetherness, which is also what being in a union is about.
Right.
So
I mean, my gosh. I kind of is this
is it a hat on a hat?
Is it? I don't know. Because if we do Men in Blue, but it's for Hallmark Channel, it's not it, right? But I
feel like setting it at Christmas is funny as a concept, but I feel like that adds such a level, unless we find out like Santa Claus is an alien. Yeah, I know.
He might actually. How does he get around the world in 24 hours?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
He's an alien, as are the reindeer.
Oh my God, that makes way more sense than what we've been told our entire lives. Yeah. What?
I've brought this up a lot. My parents. I'm disappointed pride. They were like, Santa Claus is not real. We don't do that in this household.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Big...
No, I found out
yesterday.
way too late. Yeah. It was actually like in this moment right now.
I've done it again.
Thanks, Tristan. Wow. Yeah, no, I was told, and I remember it happened, and I was sitting there and I was like, okay, so he's not real. Tooth Fairy? Not real. Also, if there's any children listening to this, turn it off now.
Also, why are you listening to this? I've said fuck so many times.
That's on your parents at this point.
Truly.
You know, and then I'm like, okay, Easter Bunny. All right. Damn. And then I went,
Easter
God?
Bunny too?
The what?
You did Easter Bunny as well?
Oh, yeah. I used to have little powder footprints in my house.
So elaborate.
Yeah.
But then you got to God, and then you were like,
And then I got to God, and then my mom was like, oh!
Yeah, let's just like...
No, wait. Just hang on. You know? But yeah, no, that's how I learned.
Damn. Brutal.
Deep. And to think that he was an alien this whole time.
To think he was an alien. I think I like that, and I think... I feel like that's going on in the back. It has to be like going on. Christmas has to be going on in the background, like the way like every like Die Hard or like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's like it's just Christmas.
Yes.
And that's why they're trying to shut down, because it's about to be Christmas, the busiest time of year.
Yes, and all of the human workers get off that day, but the alien workers don't because they're like, oh, well, you don't celebrate. But how are you going to say I don't celebrate when I just moved to a new planet from planet 16795, which is a universe away? Okay, all of my family is there. I have traditions too. I can't celebrate them because I'm the only one of my species of alien on this planet, and I got a job. And so, yeah, I want to celebrate the local customs, but what I can't because you're not letting us have the day off. So, yeah, we're going on strike. Definitely Christmas time, aliens having to take the day off. That's what I think.
I think they go on strike. I think they have to like win somehow. I mean, there has to be like an all is lost moment, and then of course it turns around, right? I feel like the all is lost moment is like it's Christmas Day, they're striking, and then one of the agents comes up to us and is like, you know, like the reason you work here is because we've decided to like not kill you, right? Like the whole thing with Men in Black is like aliens are real, and we to keep that secret, kind of keep them all here, so we don't like have an intergalactic incident or whatever. But it's really at your discretion. We really kind of like own you guys.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
And that's like got to be like the main agent is like an antagonist, and he's the guy. He's like, these guys suck. He's I think upper middle management.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you guys just gotta work. You gotta do it. And then I think one of them gets scared and starts working, and then the whole thing falls apart for a minute.
Yes, I think that's it. And then, like, I feel like the alien could be like, I have eggs at home. They're gonna hatch. Like, I can't afford to take this time off.
That's a good joke. I have eggs at home.
You know?
Like
yeah. I think that's definitely a moment where they're like, yeah, he's right. They give us food, they give us shelter, they give us all of these things. Like maybe we should just be happy with what we have and accept that like we are living on this planet now and this is our lives. Like this is, you know, sort of like in the Revolutionary War with you had patriots.
Yeah.
And you had loyalists.
Yeah.
And the loyalists were like, why would we change it? It's good the way it is. We should be grateful.
Fair enough.
You know? But then the patriots were like, I don't want to pay taxes.
And they're still saying that to this day.
And then it's still to this day.
They're like, we still don't want to pay taxes.
We're like, somebody's got to fix the potholes, guys. Okay? Yeah. Somebody's got to do it.
Truly.
Somebody's got to do it.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. And then how do they turn it around, though, and actually then win?
Get that person on their side. I think there's something to do with the eggs there.
I think so, too.
I think it's like this idea. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do it then. But the eggs, like I think that because they have these eggs on Earth, Area 51 is like, okay, well, we're going to take the eggs. And they're like, what do you mean you're going to take the eggs? These are my eggs. And Area 51 is like, well, we have to study them. Like, this is what you're here for, you know? And they're like, no.
I like that.
But does it make Area 51 way too evil, though?
No, I think it's kind of fine. But what I would also say is this. What about also the way it's resolved is there's a lawsuit because the person is like, well, these eggs born on U.S. soil, they are American citizens.
Yeah.
And then it's like a trial of like, okay, what does this mean intergalactically?
Yes.
You know, the legal ramifications of that, you know, because they're not immigrants. And what does that look like? Yeah, they are U.S. citizens. They were born in the United States. So do they have rights, but the other aliens don't, you know?
Right. And if you're going to say that, like, aliens are able to have full on conversations, like have a consciousness and work and earn a living. Because I do think they get paid, but I don't think they get paid nearly as much as humans get paid, because they're considered to be like property of the state and like live on the, yikes.
Yeah.
But like they live like on Area 51. They don't go home anywhere else. Like this is where they live. So they're like, we're giving you free room and board. Like, why are you? We're not going to pay you that much, right? So I think that's part of the issue. But then, you know, we're saying that, but is the argument that like aliens are now akin to like more so like animals because they're a different species than us? Or are we saying, I think this is the argument, or are we saying that no, they have the same rights as we do because they have the same level of consciousness that we do, if not more so? It could be more.
True.
We don't know.
Yeah, have you ever asked an alien?
Doc.
That's what I'm
Have
saying.
you? I haven't.
No.
I'll be the first to admit it. You know?
Be the first to admit it.
I've never met an alien.
Yeah,
I've never
that you know
done
of.
it. No. But
Alien
that's so awful. Like, what if my only experience with an alien ever has just been me being like, oh, excuse me, sorry, I just gotta get the cheese out of this aisle. Like, you know, like what? Like that was my conversation that I had with another life form. That's so depressing. I want to know if I'm meeting an alien. I want to know.
Margaret, I have a great series of films for you. It's called Men in Black. You should watch it. It's kind of the whole thing. I'm telling you, you should probably just watch those movies if you haven't.
Oh my gosh,
already.
I think you're right. I think I'm gonna do that today. That sounds great.
For sure. I will say I like that. I also love the. I think they take it to the Supreme Court, or like the secret version of the Supreme Court or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like they basically secure rights like similarly to actual immigrants into the United States, where it's like, okay, we have to issue a bunch of alien green cards now. This is fucked up, but it's what we gotta do.
Yeah. It's sort of like the prequel to Star Trek, kind of, I think.
Yeah, I can
in this way. Like we're like, this is how we get like an alien council. We have like alien like Supreme Court. We have alien lawyers now. I think that's like, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a beautiful intergalactic relationship, I think. So. You know?
Yeah, I think that's very good. I think I think that's also, I think the end is them getting that like through that bill through.
Yeah.
And because
I think that's it.
Yeah. And then if we wanted to do like a spin-off like FX series where that's like them putting through more legislation, we can.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
6 seasons in a movie, to quote Community.
True. But in reverse. We start with a movie.
But, movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Who do we want to play the lead cast of aliens, do we think? I think it's all got to be like performance capture, digital creatures and puppets.
Okay. I love puppets. Can I be so for real?
Yeah.
CGI makes me want to like just be slapped as much as allowed. It's like, I can't stand CGI.
Really? Interesting.
I don't want it. Maybe it would work in this scenario.
No.
But I think, give me Jim Henson. Give me the Dark Crystal.
Okay.
Give me Muppets.
Okay.
You know, but like puppets, like Dark Crystal, like puppets, where it's not like funny Muppets.
Yeah, I understand.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think having practical effects I think it's really good, and I think it's used more than people think it is, because they've been able to integrate things kind of seamlessly, and you do take it for granted. But I think having mostly practical effects is good, and I think that means then, not that we're like limited to the cast or whatever, but the cast is mostly doing
puppetry.
Voice.
Yeah, voice.
Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
rather-
yeah. They wouldn't probably do the puppets.
Yeah, unless you're like hiring Frank Oz and the team, like actual people, and then it's sorted. But I feel like a fun bit would be like fleshing out like 3 main aliens that are leading the charge. We have the alien with the eggs.
Yeah.
So who do you think should play egg alien?
God. I feel like Florence Pugh gets chosen a lot, but
Okay. I think that's good.
I kind of like it. Like, I think she would add depth to it in a way that's like, maybe it's because I just saw We Live in Time.
I was gonna say, and
like, she
there's
does
all
play a mother, so
and extensive egg talk in that movie as well.
yeah, so much. I've heard her mention eggs a lot.
So many times. Yeah. I think that's great. I think she's great to play Egg Mom. Excuse me. I like that. I think putting I think no, that doesn't quite work. I think having Reese Darby play the agent who's a massive asshole to these guys would be really funny because he's often like sweet guys.
Yes.
And seeing him be just a huge dickhead would be great.
Yes. 100%.
So that's the agent sorted. I feel like there's got to be like a big janitor alien, right?
Yeah. John Goodman.
I was thinking John Goodman as well.
No, are you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in.
Absolutely.
I'm in.
Listen,
Yeah,
guys,
gotta be John Goodman.
I don't know if you know what they're doing over there. You know. Yeah.
I've done a lot of janitorial work in my day, and this is takes the cake.
I think I see him as like, I don't know if you're familiar with Star Wars Episode 2, Attack the Clones. But there's a
I
character...
love this. I'm not, but I do. I'm learning so much about you, and I love this. Tell me.
So, in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, there's a character called Dexter Jetster who owns a diner, who's like a 4-armed alien who's like really rotund and like stocky. And I see this janitor guy in like a similar vein, where he's got like a big old mustache. And I think we're gonna have to ask John Goodman to play up the southern, like Louisiana part of him inexplicably. Where it's like, why do you have that accent? You're from outer space. He's like, I don't know, man. It's just how I sound. It's your universal translator. And
oh my gosh, yes. It is not by choice. It's like fully just how.
Yeah, it's the accent of wherever. And I think also that leads to when they're doing the trial, he goes, now I may be just a small southern, a small spaceman lawyer.
It's like he's not from the South
at all. But he was a lawyer back home. And, back in the home country, I was a lawyer. Now they have me cleaning floors. It's a disgrace. I think that's so fun.
I think that's great.
I think he's like the muscle. The egg lady is like a cursed name, but is what I'm gonna call
It's
her.
so unfortunate. Flo's the egg lady for sure.
She's the heart of the thing, and then we have to have like the brains. It's like we are making Kirk, Spock, and McCoy as well, which is a nice Star Trek tie-in.
Yeah, I kind of it's reminding me like reminiscent of like Sterling K. Brown in This Is Us, like when he runs for Senate, kind of a vibe. Or is it Senate? I don't remember exactly what he runs for in
I don't know
that.
what This Is Us is.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's also a movie that, I mean, it's a TV show, but you will cry. So, tissues if you do watch it. But yes, so he is like plays like this very earnest man. And I think like that is the vibe that we kind of want. I think. What do you think?
Who is this person that you're talking about?
This is,
actor?
I will show you.
Sterling K. Brown?
Yes.
I'll have a Google.
You've seen him.
Probably. I'm generally good with actors as well, so I'm kind of surprised. Sterling K. Brown. Oh.
Yes.
I've definitely seen him around. But yeah, sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's like, He's done a few things, but I know him from This Is Us.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good cast of characters. And then I think we should have like one really big star that you're not expecting at all at playing the judge.
The judge.
Yeah,
I
in
guess
the
I would
Supreme
say,
Court.
yeah.
Something stupid.
Oprah. But Oprah's very smart, not stupid.
No, that's very funny though to have her as that is great. And the
You
thing is,
know?
she's also an alien, and we just don't know it. And she's Oprah Winfrey.
Oh my
Is the
God.
thing is she is like herself.
She's not playing a character. She
No.
is Oprah, and she walks in and they're like, what is Oprah doing here? And they're like, she is the galactic judge of
she's
the universe. And they're like,
liaison.
what? Like, what?
One of them just yeah, you know how her career doesn't exactly make sense. It's like, yeah, it's because of the government. Like we just decided.
Yeah. How did she went from journalist to talk show? She has a magazine. She's Oprah. She's Oprah.
She's Oprah Winfrey.
You know? She's Oprah Winfrey.
I think also having Whoopi Goldberg would be good as well somehow because she's in Star Trek.
Whoopi Goldberg would be good.
She's always good.
She would be good.
She's playing Miss Hannigan on Broadway soon. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, it's in previews.
I will be seeing that.
You should.
For sure. I will. We can see it.
Oh my God.
Together? Oh my gosh. Together?
What?
What? Who would have thought?
Who do you think should direct this picture?
Okay, this is she has an idea.
Yeah,
Honey has an idea. She's like so involved in this. And I would say, okay, it's because I got Wicked on the brain, but I think John M. Chu.
Okay.
But hear me out, okay? Because people need to hear me when I say this. Okay, it's the way in which it's this idea of less CGI that I really appreciate that he did in Wicked. Mm-hmm. Adding that into this, I think would be helpful.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think he did Crazy Rich Asians as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Verify.
Thank you,
yeah,
please. I don't want to seem like a racist for just assuming. Because that's a funny film, and this is a comedy as well. So he has like an idea of like
he has. Yes, he did do Crazy Rich Asians. You are correct.
Great.
Yes.
I'd love to not be racist and just know movie facts. Those are my two favorite things.
Good.
Yeah,
that is very good. Yeah, definitely recommend.
Yeah, so he can absolutely like understand the comedy of it all as well as the practical effects and big grand scale of it. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I think, and I know I was talking about Wicked a lot, but I actually do think it's not. I think it's just the right choice.
Here's the thing, Margaret, you really only brought it up twice. So that's not
I feel like that was a lot, though. It's a lot to talk about a movie in an hour span.
I don't think so.
No?
I think you're fine.
All right.
I think
well, thank you.
Yeah, I think also you have to take into account like how many people, when you get them on a roll about a movie, they like will not stop talking about it. And you were very gracious of going, I love it, I want to see it again, and then moving on. So
you know what? You're so right.
Yeah.
I'm just that good.
Yeah, I think so. Are there any other loose ends about the story or the plot or anything before we wrap up
I think the eggs need to hatch before the end of the movie.
Yeah, I think so too. I think when it's Chekhov's eggs, right?
Yeah.
And I think Chekhov's eggs. You know, you have eggs in the first act, they gotta hatch by the third, and I think they have to hatch during the courtroom scene. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like they're in the middle of the trial or whatever, and then they hatch.
Does she bring the eggs with her?
Well, she doesn't have a babysitter. She can't afford it, can she?
Oh my God, you're so right.
Which is one of the things they're fighting for with the union is like, number one, paternity and maternity leave, but also like childcare. And then Oprah Winfrey goes, well, weren't those guys just because she's trying to like win, like she's too sympathetic.
Right.
I feel like, but she's fine with it.
Right.
But so she goes, well, weren't they just born on US soil? And then you just see Rhys Darby go, oh no. Because I don't think Rhys Darby should be the agent that plays it. I think David Duchovny should be the like defense attorney. against the aliens.
Can you tell me who David Duchovny is?
Sure thing. He's known best for being in X-Files.
Oh, great.
Which is a show about aliens, which is the main reason.
So that would work perfectly.
Exactly.
That would work very well.
Again,
That's
it's like
excellent.
a little wink, wink, nod, nod.
That's great.
Thing. He loves to play an FBI agent. He's also in Twin Peaks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Playing Denise.
That's what got me with him. That's what I understood. And Sex and the City, no?
I couldn't begin to know that. I think you might be thinking of Kyle MacLachlan. Because I know Kyle MacLachlan is in
This is a good moment for me to say that I often don't know actors' names and faces together. I do one or the other. And in my profession, I should, but I don't.
It's fine, I think. I think that's most people. And also, to your credit, both David Duchovny and Kyle MacLachlan are dark-haired men who have played FBI agents. So
that's fine.
Then
they're in.
Yeah, they're not interchangeable. Their vibes are completely different, but I can understand why. Yeah, you're fine.
They're just together. Yeah.
But I think that's when the egg should hatch, and that's when it's like in the moment. She's like, "Well, they're U.S. citizens then." If they're born here,
and that's how the ruling happens.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Great.
Yeah.
I think we solved it. Do you want to do? Oh gosh, do you want to do a lightning round before we?
I would love.
End? Okay, let me bring up randomwordgenerator.com. My big giant iPad here. Put in RA and it takes me exactly where I need to go. First one is neglect. So we both do a pitch that's like very short based off of the same word. So for me, I'll go first just to kind of give an example. For neglect is about a dog who is left home alone too much. And I think it's a combination of Air Bud and Home Alone, where it's a home invasion, but a dog is defending the home using like traps and stuff. And he has to like enlist the help of a neighbor's cat or whatever. And it's not animated. It is live action with the mouth moving.
I love this.
Okay.
I love it. I think my neglect is it's a plant and similar to Little Shop of Horrors, but it is in a woman's home, late 20s, no one in particular, me. And she just cannot take care of plants at all. So this like alien plant is like, I need sustenance, I need food. And she's like, I don't do plants. They usually die in my care. So I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to figure it out. And so this alien plant is kind of left to its own devices of finding a way to care for itself in this home. My plants are behind me. They're mostly dead.
Okay. It's, when I get a plant, I like to call it plant hospice. I'm going to make them real comfortable before they go.
Yes, it's literally, that's all of my plants are. My snake plant, Denise, is the longest lasting. Had her for a little while. So.
The next word, I like that, by the way, a lot.
Thank you.
Refresh the browser, please. I would simply love a new word. Whenever I ask this iPad to work quickly, it decides to not. Advertise is the next one. For me, advertise is a Michael Moore film documentary. I'm pitching a documentary idea about, the thing I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast about how brands have incepted our brains and like how do we get rid of it?
I love that. I think that's great. Advertise. I think mine is gonna be someone who just got laid off from their job, is driving back to their home on like their last several fumes of gas, and they see an ad for this 9-month cruise around the world. Okay, they have their life savings is just enough to cover it. and they decide that they're going to go on this cruise by themselves and find themselves. Yeah.
I like that. Eat, pray, boat.
Eat, pray, boat. Yeah. And they have never been on a boat before, get vehemently seasick in the first week. Yeah. It's crazy. You should see it.
This movie I just made.
You should see it. It's really crazy.
Oh, that's very good. Instinct is what I have next. And
Instinct?
And for me, I feel like Instinct is about if you can believe it, a stuffy corporate drone who is neglecting his family and is neglecting, this is very similar to a film that already exists that stars Kevin Spacey, so I'm going to replace it. So we're kind of like doing an all the money in the world situation where we just cut him out.
I love it.
But it's about we'll say Jim Carrey stars as this guy because we got him out of retirement or whatever.
Love him.
Where this stuffy corporate drone hates his job, hates his life, feels disconnected for everything. So he meets someone who is a magical deity or being of some kind and turns him into a moose. And he has to go back to the wild and learn to reconnect with his instincts, reconnect with nature.
Wow, that was great.
Hey, thanks.
That was really great. I love that.
Thank you. And
Instinct.
He's in New York and he gets turned into a moose when he's in New York and he has to find his way back out. So he's like on the subway as a moose or whatever, and it's like kooky and weird.
Yeah. And people are like, how did this moose get on the subway? That's crazy.
And when he sees himself, when it's his point of view, you see him as Jim Carrey, and then it'll cut to him being a moose.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It was about perception of self and of what you actually feel like, and
that's great. And there's also that image of him like sitting on the subway in between two people, and it's sort of the excess man spread, just man spread to like multitudes. Yeah, I love it. Like just so big. I didn't know what a moose sounds like, but that was it. That was
pretty much.
A moose sounds like. Yeah. Well, thanks. Instinct. Yours was really good. So
hey, thanks.
It like I'm still thinking about it.
You can make Instinct 2, Call of the Wild.
Instinct 2, Call of the Wild, except he's made into a mouse and it's a totally different experience.
He just gets eaten in the first 5 minutes.
He just gets eaten immediately. Or he becomes a rat. He becomes a subway rat. Actually, I will do Instinct 2. Instinct 2, he reverse learned his lesson. He finally made it out. He was like, I'm going to be a better person. Falls back into the same traps he's been falling into. And the magical fairy that came down and transformed him into a moose the first time is like, okay, this time it's no holds bar. You're a subway rat. Good luck. And that's how he got Pizza Rat. That was the origin of Pizza Rat. That's who it was.
I like that a lot. I think the magical deity should be played by Bowen Yang.
Oh, definitely Bowen Yang. Mm-hmm. That would be so good.
Yeah.
Okay, Bowen, we would like to talk to you people.
Please.
Let us know.
Because Jim Carrey could be like literally anyone you know.
Yeah,
please just come on.
You just come on. You just,
and then we'll
just
figure
hit
out
us
the
up.
rest.
And yeah, we'll take care of it.
2-picture deal.
Yeah, don't worry about Kevin Spacey.
No, he's not even involved. I'm sorry I brought him in.
Not involved. He's not involved.
I can't remember what the Kevin Spacey film is called, but he gets turned into a cat. And he's a talking cat. And I'm like, Kev... You must really have needed to make those mortgage payments, I guess.
Yeah.
Famously.
No.
God, what a mess. And on that note. What would you like people to know about you that have listened this far to the podcast?
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with us and listening. It's been a pleasure talking with Tristan today.
You love to hear that.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride. It was a ton of fun. I think about me, I'm going to use this as a plug, but shameless plug. I am in a show. It's going to be POTUS. shows will be this March. I can send the dates later, but it's I'm very excited. I'm playing Dusty. It's at City Gate Productions in Queens. So go to their website, find out more.
Great.
Yeah.
A pleasure to have you on, and I'm gonna use this opportunity to speak directly to the listener. If you want to support this podcast and other stuff I do, I have a Substack, tristanmiller.substack.com. It gets you early access to the pod and also the video of the pod, and also a bonus podcast called Movies to Fall Asleep To, where I talk to people about their comfort films. And then I also do movies reviews and put clips of my stand-up and other stuff on it too. It's like a little hub for me and this podcast. So check that out. It's just $5 American a month. You can have access to all of that. Thank you again for doing this. Appreciate you coming on. It's always delightful to just talk to you, and I'm hope to see you soon. Now that we're not in class together, we're gonna have to like make an effort to see each other. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Coordinate. Ugh.
Gosh, we have to go through our schedules. Well, we have to see. We do have to see Whoopi Goldberg and Annie.
That's true.
When that makes it. So